Hey guys, what's happening today? I am feeling so wonderful today. I struggled through Sunday. I don't even know what to say about Sunday, to be straight up with you. I am usually a very picky eater, and for those of you who know me, and if you don't, you'd know that I usually cook all of my meals, usually eat at home. I have a little OCD going on, and I don't like people talking over my food, and so I'm just really one of those people who prefer to stay at home, cook and eat. And for some reason on Sunday, I woke up feeling really, really horribly, and I'd been out the evening before where I snacked on some of the items that were there. And I woke up Sunday morning with a headache, first of all. I couldn't figure out where this headache was coming from. I haven't had a headache in such a long time. And then as Sunday progressed, I started to feel a whole lot more nauseous and my stomach was so upset. And it got so bad to the point that I laid on my bathroom floor for the cool of the tile to just kind of help me be a bit grounded. But boy, that nausea was awful. And I knew that at some point, this is not going to be pretty, that I would need to vomit. But my Nana Love was at home, and I didn't want to do it in front of her because I knew she would be traumatized by it. So finally, her and her mom got dressed. And the minute they left the house, I'm telling you, the minute they left the house, I mean, it's like my body took control of itself and just expelled everything that was inside of me. And it expelled and it expelled. And I had absolutely no control over it. And so I got some measure of relief once I'd done that, but I still felt really horribly. The thing though is later that evening, as I lay on the bed, I started to say to Trevor, listen, I'm not feeling well, and I think that I should go to the doctor because listen, I've never felt so bad in my entire life. And he picked up the phone and he called my physician, who encouraged him to take me to the hospital. But before we can even get to the hospital, I started another bout of vomiting right on my bedroom floor. I didn't even make it to the bathroom. And the thing is, this time the vomiting was accompanied by diarrhea. Listen to me. I have never in my life felt so bad. I thought that I was going to die. And so as my body continued to expel whatever this toxin is that was inside of me, I just kind of passed out. I passed out from being weak, I guess, and that weakness was as a result of me just letting go of everything in my body, just letting it out, and losing all of the fluid from vomiting and from having diarrhea. And so my daughter ran out and she got some Gatorade, and I was able to drink some of that Gatorade, and it started to replenish the fluid that I'd lost. And I can tell you, boy, I got some serious lessons from having a round with horrible food poisoning. Here's what I learned from food poisoning. First of all, when our body is ill, when there is a foreign substance that's in our body, the body works really hard to get rid of it. The body works hard to expel it, and it attacks it. And when it attacks it, it forces it to come out. And the minute we release those toxins, the minute we release that, whatever that nastiness is that was inside my belly, the moment I got all of it out, I started to feel like a normal human being. I started to feel I was drained. I was physically drained, but I started to immediately feel better from a health perspective. And I knew that everything would be okay because all of the toxin, all of the poison that was inside of me had come out of me. So I learned that when we have toxins in our body breaks down. Our body, it just absolutely breaks down, and the body starts to take control of itself. When we have food poisoning, I also learned that the body takes over and it tries to expel it. It releases it. It lets it go. And I honestly had no control over the amount of vomit. I just felt like I just felt like I was a faucet with a mouth open and everything was just coming out and I had no control. And so the body releases it because it knows it needs to get it out in order for us to feel better. I also learned from food poisoning that once we've released all of that, we feel drained. I mean, we feel weak, we feel drained, we feel it's just emptiness. I was so weak that I was just laying on the floor because I could not move. And I wanted to take a bath because I felt really dirty and I couldn't even get to the bathtub. And so what I also learned is from this round of food poisoning is that when we expel toxins, when we get rid of the poison, we get so weak that we need help from other people to help us. My daughter ran my bath and I am so very grateful that Trevor was around because he had to lift me to the bathtub. And my daughter gave me a bath. And once she started to clean me, I started to feel a little bit better as well. You know, this reminds me so much of when we have other toxins in our body. I'm not talking about food poisoning. We walk around with other toxins in our bodies. We walk around with anger, with hate, with maliciousness. We walk around carrying with us the baggage of people who have not supported us, being unhappy. We walk around with the baggage of trauma that's happened to us in our past, and it clogs us emotionally, it clogs us physically, it clogs us spiritually. And our body is just full of toxin and it's crying out for release. And sometimes we hold on, and I held on all day Sunday because I really did not want my granddaughter to see me vomiting. She would be traumatized. And I held on all day. And I up until 4 o'clock when I laid on that floor just to kind of keep things down, I felt horrible. I mean, doing my best to just smile at her and say, Nana's not feeling well. I'm just laying on the floor here trying to relax and trying to keep her calm. And the more I did that, the worse I felt. But I knew that in that moment, that's what I needed to do. But when the release came, it was as if I was transformed into a totally different being. And that's what happens when we release the toxins of bad relationship, bad experiences, disappointments in life, when we release hang-ups that we have about ourselves. When we're able to release toxins, we become better. Now, when we release, what happens is we get weak, and that's what happened to me. I just honestly, I couldn't even move. I wanted to try to crawl towards the bathroom, and I couldn't even get there. And it felt so bad for me because I still wanted to try to be independent, and I still wanted to try to get to the bathroom on my own. And he recognized that I didn't have the strength to do it. So my lesson with food poisoning is also that when we release the toxins that's in our lives, sometimes we need the support of other people to hold us up because we're so empty. We're so empty that we need the support of other people to hold us up. But those people have to be people that are trusted, people that we know can see us in our vulnerability and will not hold that vulnerability against us. People who will see us when we are at our weakest and try their best to help us to get stronger again. So when we release the toxins in our lives, we may come to a place where we feel weak and drained. And that's not a time to be alone. I'm so very grateful that my daughter was there to dash out for that Gatorade so that I could replenish myself. And I'm so very grateful that Trevor was there to help me, to lift me, to help me get into the bathroom, to help me step into the bathtub so that I could clean myself, because if you vomit enough diarrhea at the same time, that's not pretty. But I can tell you, boy, once it was over, I felt 100 times better. So when we are releasing, we have to have people around us who are going to help us through the weak periods, through the vulnerability that we feel. The third lesson I got from my bout with food poisoning is that we need to rest and recuperate. Now, yesterday I had an engagement with Bahama, and Trevor spoke to me and he's like, "Babes, please don't go." And I was like, I have to do this. I work for myself. This is my first engagement with this part of Bahama. I have to be out there. Future business is at risk. And while I was not feeling 100%, I knew that I had to show up. And so I went early. I took my time to walked through. I sat down, I relaxed, I gave my presentation. I gave the best that I could give, even though I was not 100%. And when I was done, the guy that hired me said, I explained to him, I was like, listen, I gave you the best. And he said to me, everybody in this room was inspired by what you just did. And nobody knew. No one, if you had not told me that you were not well, I would not know. And so sometimes, even when we are weak, we have to still show up, but we also have to get back and rest. And so yesterday, I rest. This is about the most sleep I have had for 2019. And Travis said, listen, you slept like a log. You look like because he was there and he was watching. And he was like, you were knocked out because I was so physically drained and tired. So what are my takeaways from my bout with food poisoning? That as much as I try to protect myself, there will be opportunities when viruses may enter my body. I don't eat out a lot. I really don't. I'm OCD about my food. I'm OCD about how my food is prepared. I'm just really a stickler, and so I cook most of our meals and we eat at home. There will be the opportunity though when we go out and have something, and that's just a risk that I have to take. And I took that risk this past weekend. But what I do know is that while food poisoning is not something that's pleasant, the body takes over and the body knows what it needs in order to release the toxins that are in us. And it's the same thing with us when we are filled with toxins emotionally, spiritually, and physically. The body knows what has to be done. It's in quieting and silencing the mind and allowing the body to take over and do what it has to do to heal. And so that's what my body did. My body took over. And if you're in a position where you're filled with toxin at this time, it may not be for food poisoning. It could be the disappointment of children who are not measuring up. It could be the disappointment of a relationship that did not work out. It could be that you've had many relationships that have not worked out, and it made you, consider whether you are enough. It's made you think about whether who you are is worthy. It's really taken a hit at your self-esteem. It could be that you're on a job that you don't enjoy, but you need money to pay your bills, and so you're just going to this job every day so that you can get a salary to pay your bills, but you're not fulfilled, but you want to do something different because you have a dream inside of you that you want to pursue. It could be, that there is this dream inside of you and you're stuck and you're not sure of what to do. It could be that you have malice in yourself and there's jealousy inside of you towards other people who seem to be out there making it, doing it, and you're not doing what you believe is enough to take you in the direction of your dreams. It could be family relationships that are just not working out. It could be a sibling. It could be another family member who's crossed boundaries and who's caused you to harbor some ill will. It could be anything that creates toxin in your mental state, your spiritual state, in your physical state. If you're in that position, I'm going to encourage you to release. It wasn't until I released that poison inside of me, and that release is not going to be a pretty release. For me to release the toxins associated with my food poisoning, I had to vomit, and I had to vomit a lot. It was just a faucet coming out. I had to have diarrhea, and I had vomiting and diarrhea at the exact same time. Listen, who does that? But the release is going to be messy. It's not going to be a pretty experience. There'll be crying involved. There's going to be emotional stress. There's going to be a whole lot of pain associated with it. The release is not going to be pretty. But I want to guarantee you, I feel like $1 million today. And I can guarantee you that once you release, once you allow the toxins to come out of you, once you let it go and you have help of the people that you trust in your vulnerable state to help you be positive, to see the lesson, to use the lesson to make the future better, know that things are going to be okay. The process is going to be difficult, but the result and the reward is going to be worth it. And so if you're holding on, I encourage you to release. And that's what I'm doing in 2020, working with people who really want to release. And in our cocoon for 12 months, it's going to be a messy period where we are going to face the things in life that are holding us back, that are limiting us, that are causing us to have self-doubt. the trauma that we have experienced, the goals that we want to achieve, and we're not sure what to do, all of the toxins that we're holding on to in this cocoon for a year. We're going to work through the mess and come out on the end of that looking like $1,000,000 and feeling like $1,000,000 because transformation is messy. And so Metamorphosis Academy is going to be a place where we are going to release, and you're going to be guided by someone who can help you to rebuild. So if you're interested in Metamorphosis Academy, join me so that we can release some of those toxins that are holding you back from accomplishing your dreams and your goals. I'm going to put the link here, and if you're interested in joining, please go ahead and click that link. I look forward to helping you and working with you. As I close today's live, I just want to let you know that I do feel like $1,000,000. I didn't feel that way on Sunday. Honestly, I really thought that I was going to die, and that's no lie. I thought that I was at death's door. I was so weak on my floor, not able to move. I thought, even when I blacked out, because I'd released so much of the fluids inside of me, and when I just blacked out on my floor, I thought that my time had come. But at that point where I was laying on my floor, knowing that, it could possibly be the end of me, I still felt very fulfilled because I knew that I gave every single thing I had inside of me towards achieving my dreams and my goals. And I knew that God would be pleased with the effort that I had put in over the course of my life to do the purpose that He had designed for me to do. And so I just prayed. And I asked God to let His will be done in my life. And if it meant that this was the end, then that would be the end for me. And if it wasn't the end for me, I would be grateful. And I would come out of this lesson stronger, wiser, more willing, and more passionate to go after my dreams and my goals. And so I'm grateful to be here with you today, to have this live with you today, to share this testimony with you today, and to encourage you to really release the toxins that are holding you back, and to go on and to make every day the best day of your life, because no other day is promised. We're in today, and even the remainder of today is not promised. In this moment, give your very best to be happy, to live a purpose life, to be kind to people around you, to help others in need, to honor God, and to be grateful for the life that you live, even if you don't believe it's the best life possible. As long as we have breath, anything is possible, and we can improve our position today. And if we're graced with many more days, we have the opportunity to make them the best days of our lives and live happy lives. Take care, guys, and have a great day on this tantalizing Tuesday. God bless you all, and thank you for tuning in. Take care.